for members. And I think we have everything going. Hi, Jody, Cliff, Heather, or whatever. Well, I'm going to talk today about home repair grants. We have so many members that need, they have older homes and seniors that are in houses that are falling apart. And actually, now the weather, there's an article now today. I heard that this is going to be the biggest year for hurricanes for I don't know how long. Like 10 million people are going to be affected by hurricanes this year. And it starts like from January 1 to November 8th is hurricane season. It's going to be the biggest season in the world. And that's going to put a damper on your housing and everything like that. So I want to go over the way to do it. And actually, of these, they estimate about 12 to 25 hurricanes, mostly on the East Coast. But this will cover for homes anywhere, though. Anytime you need a home repair or you have a disaster of some kind, we have wind disasters, floods, and everything all over the country. And that's affecting your property a lot. I know it did for us back in the 70s. It wiped out our family, our business, our home, and everything. And the government came in and replaced everything. It was amazing. It's the first time I learned about the power of government money, which got me into this kind of business. Wow, if that is there, I didn't know. I lived in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and we thought the government was just the post office, the IRS, or something like that. But here's where to go. And I'm pretty infatuated right now with AI. And there's 3 AIs that I'm trying to get people to test out. One is called chatgpt.com, and the other one is called Gemini.google.com. Okay, now ChatGPT I prefer a little bit better. They seem to get the more stuff I want, and you can too if you do it right. Well, actually, it doesn't matter if you do it right, because if you do it wrong, you just do it again. See, there's two in ChatGPT. There's two. There's a free one and one they charge $20 a month for. I use the $20 a month because I can afford it. If you can't, use the free one. It's probably just as well for most things. And it's called Chat GPT. And when you .com, you sign up with your email, and then you choose 3.5. Now I did that here, and what I want to do is you just put it's a chat. It's a chat. That's why they call it Chat GPT. Okay, and you put in a chat. And I'm going to put it in here. Let's do a new chat. And down here is where the chat is. Come on. Okay. Okay, the chat is, okay. Show me 30 websites that have funds for home repair from government offices and non-profit organizations. You have to know how to spell. Z-A-T-I-O-N. Okay, so show me 30 websites that have funding or funding for home repair from government offices and nonprofit organizations. Okay, be sure to include websites. Website. Okay, now if you did this in Google, you're going to get 5 million websites, right? And that's what Google does to you. But here, it's listing them down. Habitat Rebuilding Together, Weatherization Assistant, Neighbor Works. I mean, I know these programs, so I know they're all good. Catholic Charities, Modest Needs. These are 15 of them. Your Area Office on Aging, Jewish Federation of North America, Good Neighbor Next Door Program, Green and Healthy Homes Initiative, Community Action Partnership, AmeriCorps. These are all great sources to contact. So you're never going to find them in Google because Google wants to sell you something. None of these organizations will ask you for money, and they'll do that for you. Now, here's what's neat about AI. I put in them, show me show me 30 more with websites. Sometimes it forgets websites. So show me 30 more. There it goes, man. Repair Corps, Purple Heart Homes, Housing Assistance, Enterprise Community Partners, Christmas in April, know them well. Community Foundation for, wow. See, now what you can do too is put in your city. So maybe for Florida. So I have that now. Now may I live in Florida? Okay, it's getting to 30. Show me 30 programs from government offices and non-profit organization. ORGANIZAT that ORGANIZATIONS. Okay. That have funding for home repair in Florida. How do you like that? Okay, in Florida. Be sure to include websites. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, here it goes. 30 more. Okay, Florida Housing Authority, Florida Department of Economic and Tourism, Rebuilding Together Miami. Okay, it goes on and on. So it's going to tell me 30 more just for Florida. Okay, if I want more, then I'll just put give me 30 more. So that's on, actually, that's on 4.0, which is the expensive one. But let's put on the cheap one. I thought that was on the cheap one. So let's put on 3.5, okay? So we'll go on 3.5, start a new chat GPT. I think that's what I did. I started a new one. Okay, show. So this is the free one. Show me 30 websites that provide funding for home repair, for home repair from government. Not funding for home repair. For home repair from government, GOVERN. God damn, I forget the spaces. Government offices and non-profit, non-profit, nonprofit organizations. Be sure to include websites. Okay, show me 30 websites that provide funding okay, I screwed it up already, that provide funding for home repair from government offices and nonprofit organizations. Be sure to include websites, okay? Nonprofit organizations in Florida. Okay, so be sure to, okay, so I said government offices and nonprofit organizations in Florida, be sure to include websites, period. Okay, I hit arrow. See, now it's doing the website. Now, when you do this, something like this in Google, you know you're going to get a billion websites and you want, yeah, it's all here. And this is the cheap one. It looks exactly the same. Yeah, they're all right there. See, you can't waste time on Google anymore. It's a time waster and everybody, and if I want 30 more, okay, I'm going to I want 50 more. Show me 50 more and be sure to include websites. Okay. Smoke keeps coming out. Okay, we're up to 40 already. 40. See, I got 50 more. So I got 80. Well, 50 and 30. Yeah, that's 80. Wow. All those people that are there, 80 of them right here. Okay, where else can you find these kinds of things? Okay, let's go up. Okay, here's Gemini. Now, let's put a new chat in Gemini. Gemini is free, and that's gemini.google.com. And again, it has a little chat prompt. Go, show me 30 websites that provide funding for home repair from government. My keys are bad. They don't spell right. Government offices and non-profit organ. From government offices and nonprofit organizations in Florida. Show me 30 websites that provide funding for home repair from government offices and nonprofit organizations in Florida. Be sure websites. Am I missing something in there? Show me 30 websites. Home repair from government. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. We put bingo. What happens? Okay. Okay, here they come. Safe home for, yep, all the websites nicely. This presents it a little nicer. I tell you the other thing, but it's, yeah, see, yeah, it gets a little weird then after the first 5 or 6. It doesn't show you 30 like the others do. It says show some without the website. And yeah, it's a little funkier. But what's also nice about this, you could copy this down at the bottom of the page on Gemini. There's 3 dots. Sometimes these 3 dots, you could click on those 3 dots, and one is a copy. And what's nice about this, you could click copy on Gemini, and when you copy it and put it somewhere else, all the links are hot. Now, the problem with ChatGPT, if you put copy, there's a little arrow mark on top, and that's to share your chat. But when it shares the chat, so you could copy that and you get a link, and you could give that link to anybody to give them all this. But the links won't be hot. They're going to have to almost type them in by themselves. Or if they go to ChatGPT 3.5, that's free, and you could do the link to that with, or just send them the words you put in. Hey, you want to find out all these programs? Here, go to chatgpt.com and put in this when it asks you. Make sure you put 3.5 because that's free, and then put in these words, okay? And you'll get them all with the hot list, and that will encourage them to use this too more. So they're getting help. See, there's so much free help, but you can't find the free help in Google, and that's where people are wasting their time, money, and their life. By trying to get free help in Google, which it just won't give you because they don't get paid. Now, the other thing is findhelp.org. That has the same kind of thing. And here, when I put in my zip code, findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and I put in home repair. And when I put in home repair, you know what it gives me? 212 organizations. Every organization in Find Help is a nonprofit or a government office, never charge you. So now this is the third way. You have ChatGPT, you got Gemini, and you got Find Help, and 211 is another one. Now, when I did the same thing in 211.org, I only got 59 organizations, and 211 is almost the leader in all this kind of stuff, in having free sources, and unfortunately, they have the least amount. So that's why it's always, you don't rely on one source of help for anything, okay? So whether it's, you have 4 places. You have 2 of these free AIs, which are wonderful things to do. You have 211. You have Find Help. And what else do I have here? Oh, you have FEMA. With all these hurricanes, don't forget, find out if your if where you live is a declared disaster area, and then FEMA pays for it all. You don't have to worry about it. And sometimes you do, so you use these other sources for the extra that they don't pay for. Uh, and if you go to FEMA.gov and put in disaster declarations, are you declared a disaster? Well, don't ask my wives. But if the government declares you a disaster, then all this money comes in. You hurt your car, you lost your income. I mean, you get up to like $450 a week of spending money for 30 weeks in a declared disaster. And this is big money. FEMA also had the burial services if you were by COVID. I think that's over now, but it may not be. Check that. If you know somebody died of COVID, because it'd be retroactively too. $9,000 for burial services. That's a big ticket. So that's available to you. What else we have here? Also, there's always that last resort when all this stuff doesn't work. You call your elected official. Okay, you call your elected official by going to commoncause.org. Commoncause.org. All elected officials are pretty common. They're supposed to be, but they don't act that way, do they? You put in your zip code, and there'll be 12 offices of elected officials. Their job is to help you solve that problem. Their job is to help you find a government office that help you solve that problem. They won't be as familiar with the nonprofit organizations, but still it's a good start. And remember, you have to call. You can't rely on just going and typing some nonsense that you're going to fill out an application and just sit and watch cartoons and wait for the money to come in. No, it's not going to happen that way. This is your ticket. You call people and say, hey, I'm screwed, man. I don't know what the hell to do. See, everyone you're calling, I give you to call, are people who get paid to help people like you. That's why they're in business. This is why people are paying them. So they could find people who need help and give it to them or point them to it. I mean, it's amazing. See, we're so, Google oriented or commerce bound and think everything is capitalism. No, there's a whole part of our country that is not capitalism. It's giving. And then capitalism doesn't do well under giving. So that's why you have to stop capitalism sometimes. Capitalism is great. I mean, but there's times where you can't afford capitalism. So you have to go the other part. And that other part is over a third of everything our economy is government, nonprofit organizations, probably even more. Government alone is a third. So you kick in the nonprofits doing all this work, and they're there to help you, man. And we all need help. So don't be embarrassed about doing it. And look at all the richest people in the world go to the government for help. This is how I learned about this. I was helping millionaires become billionaires by getting government money programs for them. Now that got sick. I got sick and tired of doing that pretty quickly. Now I just want to help the people who really need it. And most of this country really needs it. About half of this country is just living hand to mouth if they can. And so I'm trying to make sure that everybody knows about these programs. We all pay for them, no matter what income you are. And it doesn't only go to poor people. And poor people, man, the programs that supposedly go to poor people, like buying a house or even daycare, that incomes are up to $400,000 now. So forget about you're making too much. If you're making too much for one program, you find another program. If you're too old for one program, you find another program. There's just too many. And that's what we do at Let's Go Help, is find you all the programs where you live to solve any financial problem. And not only we do that, we also give grants out. And tomorrow we give as a deadline grant for car repair. We give out, as the deadline is tomorrow at midnight, and we give out $5,000 for car repairs to help people with car repairs. Now we give about $70,000 every month to members for grants to solve financial problems in their life. We have one for do anything, and that's about $40,000. We have another one for rent, and another one we give free laptop computers. We give 30 every month for free, because you really need a laptop, to find all these kinds of things. And so that's what we want to do, help you. And you ask us 100 questions a day. And we have people on staff and also members like today. I just right now I'm live now on our website, but right before me was 2 hours of members that are there to answer your questions. You can ask a member who just got money how they got that money. Now that to me is worth more than talking to me. I've applied for money for years. They know they're on the ground doing that every day, and they come back and they help people like you, members. That's why I call it a loving community. We're all here just to try to love each other as much as we can, because I think, at least me, I'm so fucking old. I just want to grow my heart as much as I can, because I think that's the one thing we could all grow better. We could all have a bigger heart. And it takes a little effort on our part. And sometimes we don't put it in because we're too, whatever, who cares? It's a struggle to get through this shit. So let us help you. We have a loving community and love to help you. Let's go help.com. That's what it is. Forgot to tell you that, did I?